We're back. We're back. We're back to Digi Bros. We're playing. We're bros.
I feel like
that was it.
I think the intros are the worst part of our show.
Really? I like the intros.
I like them because they're stupid, but it's always just like hi and then like 30 seconds of silence while I wait for
That's
you,
how you know you're back.
Oh,
I like the intros.
So, Victor, what else have you been up to lately other than filming events?
Nothing?
Nothing?
Nothing. I have a bunch of fucking schoolwork I need to do this weekend. Oh, you see how much progress I'm making on that.
Yeah, we are playing Dark Souls, and you're not doing schoolwork. Oh, jeez, these
Write
stairs.
some 10-page paper about bullshit.
Is it literally about bullshit?
Yes. No!
What were you
Why?
thinking?
That's what you have to do!
You didn't roll!
You can just drop. You don't have to roll. Ah, fuck!
You should have rolled!
Hold on.
You should have rolled!
I got this. I got this. I got this.
Are you gonna run off the cliff?
Yay! Well, whatever. I'll just let this guy kill me.
Should have rolled!
Oh, boom! Oh, that didn't do a lot of damage. Oh, God, I'm being...
Oh, the humanity!
I'm being smashed. Yeah, yeah! Oh!
God, why is this happening? Why,
Londo.
Lord? Why
Ow.
are you such a cocksucker? Top to bottom motherfucker! And not much fun.
Oh.
Oh, you're a hard one. You've got this grown adult crying. And if I keep on
I need to
dying,
get candles.
me and Dark Souls are done. How long did Anor
Lighter
Londo
in
take
there.
you the first time you played?
Not too long.
This is like the hardest part of the game for
I remember the
Lonzon.
fucking... Just getting into this building is really the hardest fucking part.
Right, the whole... When they were
When
shooting
you
the
don't
spears
know
at
how
you.
to get around that guy. Which even
That-
this, like, you're supposed to just be able to kick him. And I kept trying to kick him and it wasn't working.
Right.
I tried to hit him and he wouldn't fucking stumble. So I just had to sit there and shield. That was bullshit.
Are you gonna have to fight, what's his name? Oscar? No, you killed him already, that's right.
Yeah.
At great length.
Woo-hoo.
That fight took me a fucking while.
Yeah, that fight's pretty fun.
It's hard.
Swag. Oh! I like these dudes. I like that there's like multiple kinds
For
of
those who
these
don't know
dudes.
what we were singing just now, there is a song about Anor Londo that goes like that.
Yes.
It's it was very, very early into Dark Souls being existent. Like that was one of the first fan
it was
works I
before
heard.
it had all that fan shit.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Ah,
it
fuck.
wasn't super famous
got
at
nipped.
the time. It was at a time when like
Whatever.
it was reasonable for someone to actually still be stuck on Anor Londo.
Yeah.
Before everyone like that's
It took me
another
a while to beat the game the first time because I got
that's,
stuck on fucking what's it
part
called?
of what
and I just
gets
braked
me
for a while.
part of what gets me about Bloodborne coming out now, and this also happened with Dark Souls 2. It was funny because with Demon Souls, that game took like months for you guys to beat.
Yeah.
Like you and Brando were playing that for a really long time. You would do like, you know, you would hook up
Dude,
two PS3s and
fucking
group
grind so
play
much
and
in that
stuff
game,
like that. Grind for days. So much time it took to beat Demon Souls, right?
Yes.
And then Dark Souls took you over a month to beat. Because you
It took me
spent,
longer
like,
than that because I after
you gave
I
up on the gargoyles at first.
No,
you
I never gave up
on
on the gargoyles, but I did give up on the
The
Four
Abyss.
Kings, the
Yeah.
Abyss. And then that was just fucking that's where I took a long break from the game. And that was
Right.
before I had determined it was like the greatest fucking game and that it was my favorite and shit.
Right.
And then I came back to it and beat that shit easy.
Well,
and it
because
was
Dark
like,
Souls
wow.
was like, because Demon Souls was
I was
like,
just playing it wrong the first
Demon
time.
Souls was like a cult hit,
Yeah.
and then Dark Souls was like started off as a cult hit, but then it grew like huge,
Yes.
you know, over time. Like it took,
It took a long time.
it was like. It was like every month it was exponentially bigger than it had been the previous month.
What the
Are you
fuck?
sure you need to do that?
Yeah. That's how you get the item there. And that's how you go on the other side and unlock that
I
thing.
don't feel like I've ever seen
Always
that
done that.
before. Well, you got the big door now.
Huh.
But yeah, like the game slowly got bigger and bigger over time, and then like with Dark Souls 2
It was
came
really
out,
when the PC version of Dark Souls came out. That's when it like.
it was pretty big.
really
Even it
exploded.
was already over 1 million copies before then.
Yeah.
I mean, the game's eventually sold like crazy. like bigger than.
And when Prepare to Die and that shit came out,
it was no longer a cult hit; it was a full-on hit. Yes. And then Dark Souls 2 came out, and everyone who played it had beat it in like 5 days.
Yes.
At like
it was just not hard instantly. The same way.
And then Bloodborne, everyone beat within like 5 days.
Which is why I keep saying it's not as hard as Dark Souls, because it's like it didn't take me that long.
It's not that it's not as hard, it's that everyone's fucking played them now. Like, this is what you keep saying, like, oh, you gave up, and I'm like, you don't get it. It's so much different for someone who hasn't played these. Like, it's... You know what you're doing, like, it took you months to beat Dark Souls, and now you can do it in 5 minutes, so why would Bloodborne not be, like, of course you can beat it in a day, you know? But, like, for people like me who didn't play, it's still as hard as it ever was. Bloodborne is, if not harder, it's just as hard as Demon Souls was, Yeah. So, like, yeah, it's funny to see that unfold, and just see everyone be like, oh yeah, everyone in the world's beaten Bloodborne already, because they all beat Dark Souls, they all know what to do.
Right, I could have just gone down this way.
They all beat Dark Souls 100 times, I should say. Because no one just beat it once.
Many times.
Everyone beat it 100 fucking times.
That's the joy of it. Beating it 12
million
times.
And then Dark Souls 2 came out, and everyone considered it a disappointment, not because they didn't enjoy it, but because on their second playthrough they realized it doesn't hold up as well as Dark Souls.
It holds up on the first playthrough because you're still expecting it to get good the whole time. You're still going like, oh yeah, there must be so much I missed. There must be so much to go back and do because it's Dark Souls. It must be really deep. And then you realize that you didn't miss anything. There was nothing to go back and do. The story is as shallow as you thought it was. And it's like, oh, well, all of the things that were still holding out hope for this weren't real. So,
definitely,
what's the appeal?
Dark Souls 2 is one where, like, the opening cutscene alone made me, like, significantly lower my hopes for the game.
Yeah.
Where, like,
it's like, what is
There's,
this?
like, way more dialogue. The focus is totally different when it comes to your character. They try to give you a backstory that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then
pointless.
They're like, the old lady's like, you're gonna die. And I was like, what the
fuck?
What is this fucking bullshit? And, like, I really expected, like, when I saw that, I was like, maybe it was, like, a different team did the opening cutscene for the rest of the game, and it's just, like, not even connected. But then you play the game, and it's like, this really is just completely missing the point. You know? It's not the same game. It's not pretty either. Like, when I started, because I had, you guys had said that Dark Souls 2 was easier than Dark Souls 1, so I tried to play it. I played it for, like, a couple hours, and just none of the environments looked anywhere near as cool as Dark Souls.
They just aren't as interesting. Like, at first I thought it was cool because I was like, I get more environment, and, like, there was more diversity, and there's all kinds of shit going on, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And then the more I'm playing it, I'm just like, but there's nothing to them. You just run through it, and none of them, like, there's no cohesion or, like, interest to it all. It's all just kind of pointless.
The area where, like, the lady in green is like, the main area where you meet your healer and everything is, like, really big, and none of it's memorable. And, like, they tried to make it cool by, like, oh, well, you can see all the other levels in the distance. And I'm like, that's cool and all. But this area itself does not give me the feels that Firelink Shrine does.
Yes.
Because Firelink Shrine has, like, that circular...
I hated their first spot in Dark Souls 2 because it just makes it obnoxious because you have to go back to level up every time. Which, I mean, it worked in Bloodborne a lot better. I'm not sure how. Like, I don't know why it works so much better in that.
Demon Souls and Bloodborne did it, but, like, in those games, it was a nexus, and you really remember this nexus. And all three of Miyazaki's games, you'll notice... It's all a circle.
Yes.
For that one place. That's the only place that's really like that in those games. There's a circular fire pit in Dark Souls, and the whole thing is built around like this big circular platform, and it feels like a home base, the whole way through the game. Firelink Shrine feels like somewhere you can go back to and be safe there. Yes. And the fact that it's already a reinforced fire means that you know that's like the best place to save. Yes. So it feels, even though it's not really... even though it's a non-linear game, that always feels like a home that you can go back to. Whereas, and then the Nexus is a bunch of concentric circles, and then in fucking, what's it called? In Bloodborne, it's 2 interlocking circles.
And Dark Souls
in a
2 never
graveyard.
filled me with the same fucking hopeless fear that the other games do. Like, something about it just wasn't, like, intimidating.
The fact that you could just teleport anywhere at any time, maybe. And just, like,
I guess that makes it, you know...
And the fact that it's always, like, when you see a bunch of castles back-to-back that are all the same castle, then you, like... This game has castles, but look at this fucking place.
Yes.
Look at this
amazing.
Place. There's nothing like this.
And it's not just a castle, it's a whole city that you don't get to explore. It's like, it feels like there's a lot going on here, not just like there's a castle, you go in the castle.
You could make the case that like the levels in God of War kind of look like this,
yeah.
but they all look like this.
Yeah.
The whole game's like that. This level is completely removed from the rest of the game, you know?
Yeah, but then it still makes sense within like...
Right, within the context.
The area.
How even did they get so much variety into a game that's an open world game? You know, like in Demon Souls or Bloodborne, it's like, well, you teleport to different areas, so it kind of...
Well, no. Bloodborne is all
is it all cohesive?
Yeah, it's the same as Dark Souls.
I see.
You just are able
but there's
to go
a place
back to a Nexus.
You can go back to. Well, Demon Souls, it was like, well, okay, it's all different areas.
Demon Souls
They're all
was
totally
the less
different.
connected because you had 4 paths and you could go down all of them from the beginning.
Right.
Whereas Bloodborne is like Dark Souls where you have to like unlock everything as you go through.
With these games, it's like, whoa, the world all makes sense together.
And the layout of everything and
variety.
the cohesion is amazing and everything leads back to somewhere.
Right.
And it is just super cool like that.
Well, Anor Londo doesn't lead back to anywhere. You have to fly here.
No, I mean there's like Duke's Archive over there, but I mean there's a level everywhere.
Right.
And it feels like part of this world. Got my 10 flasks. That's why I came back here. What's up? That's
actually, doesn't Duke's Archives like connect to the woods somehow? Is there any way to get from Duke's Archives to anywhere else?
There's not.
Okay.
That's one of the places that actually gets to a dead end.
That's where you fight Seath, right?
Yes. The Scurrilous.
So what are you doing right now?
I'm about to go fight the guys.
Why did you have to come back here?
To get 10 flasks.
Okay. Just making sure I follow what's going on.
Yeah.
I think I usually just reinforced that bonfire inside the castle.
No.
You don't think that's a better idea so that every time you die against these guys you don't have to run this whole fucking path?
Yeah, but it's easy to like dodge the 3 guys and just go straight for it.
Yeah, but this path is long as shit.
It is. I've run it many times. I don't have any buffs or anything. What was that? Ugh.
You got this, dog. You got this, dog.
I do have a plus 10 claymore. That might be pretty useful.
You can do it.
I don't have buffs. I should have made a
You're
lightning.
at plus 10? When the hell did that happen?
I just did that at the blacksmith guy.
I see. I didn't even know you had the fucking materials to get to plus 10.
I bought them at the blacksmith guy.
I see.
So
you're about to go ape shit on these guys.
Boop, 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 boop. Hopefully. Beep, 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 beep. I'm sure I'll die at least a couple times to these. I have to really get in like that frazzled fucking mindset.
Frazzled.
I would say the most fun I can have when I'm playing Dark Souls is when I feel a genuine fear and like you get that heightened like fight or flight reflex, and that's when you're the best at the game. Whereas like usually I'm not doing good at this game because it's like I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the tension, and therefore like my reflexes aren't like doing what they're supposed to.
You have to be ready to have a sad come, is what you're saying.
Yes. No.
Oh shit. This motherfucker
Aw, fuck.
thinks he's the man.
Bad shit.
So this is Ornstein and
Smough. The Desolation of Smough.
Yes. They are typically considered the hardest boss in the game by a lot of people.
They're definitely my favorite. Other
probably
than, like,
the most famous
Artorias.
boss.
Yeah, I think
one way
it's
or
my
another.
favorite. Artorias is probably the hardest boss.
Well, yeah, that's if you're in the expanded game.
Yeah.
This is the hardest of the original, and the most memorable because this is the one that like really skill checks you, puts everything you know to the test. You gotta know how to.
Dudes. This is another one where I feel like if you played this whole game with multiplayer, then you've really been cheated out of the whole intense experience. Because fighting both of these guys alone is so fucking difficult. Whereas if you have a partner, then it's just like, oh, well, one of them's always distracted. Yeah, I just got destroyed.
When I beat them, I had Sunbro, but he didn't make it in. He got stuck in the fog gate, and he just sat there in the fog gate, like, trying to throw spears. And I think he briefly distracted one of them, but mostly he was useless. So you got your fucking balls rocked just now.
Yes, I got fucked, just really fucked up.
What are you trying to do about it?
I'm putting on more lightning defense.
I see.
And then, hopefully... If I had Havel's Ring, that would really help with putting on better armor. I don't want to wear a dress.
This is the kind of shit that makes this kind of game impossible for me. Is like, you sit there and you go, oh, I'll change up to lightning defense. And I'm like, what the fuck is lightning defense? That's a thing?
Yeah, you better, know that shit with Bloodborne. You better go, oh, which item has the best poison resistance so I don't fucking die of poison?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
Fat roll.
No way I can fucking wear these boots. I got to wear a dress. Let me try to...
It's still a mid-roll.
Actually, it might be
Should've
worth it
got Havel's Ring, dude.
I always try lots of combinations of what I can afford to wear.
We could always go get Havel's Ring.
I can't teleport out of here. I have to beat them.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yeah.
So you're just
damn, I really can't wear shit. Okay, we're gonna... Yeah.
Jagging it.
Yeah, I have to whoop their ass.
Londo.
It's the only choice.
I thought if you stood up there long enough, the guys would take you down again. Like if you just stand up on the perch for a long time, they just come and take you.
You might be able to activate it like that, but then I'd have to walk all the way back to wherever I wanted to go.
Right, to get the Havel.
Where it's like I'd rather beat them and then be able to warp. Schwiggity shway.
Right, because
for those of you who don't know what Havel's Ring is, it lets you have a higher equip load so I can put on better armor to have better lightning defense so I can beat these guys because they have lightning attacks.
Yep.
Ooh, or at least one guy does.
Ornstein.
Schwiggity whip, schwiggity whip, schwiggity whip. Hope you guys are ready to watch me make this run a bunch of times. Maybe we can
you did that, but I'm not doing that for this run. I mean, maybe eventually.
It would flow pretty well if I just...
I mean, we're going to end the episode after this attempt.
Okay.
And then, because it's already running a little long. And then we can think about that. And Londo, like, in spite of the fact that you can run through so much of it, like, no matter what, it's the longest fucking level in this game. It's funny, because, like, in terms of, like, rooms, there's not a lot of rooms, but, like, the landmass is so big, and there's like, 3 different parts to it.
Fucking
it's like,
hit me while I was jumping. Shit.
What other level takes this long to beat? I mean,
probably right.
This play session is already almost as long as any of the other play sessions, like, where you did multiple dungeons, multiple levels.
Dungeons.
And I can't think that any of the other levels after this are any longer.
Alright, I'm gonna have to be like really
into
this.
Tomb of the Giants.
Hold on.
Fast, come on, Shimon.
Fuck. Try to dodge through the hammer. Shit! You can't get by the fucking tip of it.
Nope. Gotta roll as soon as you see him start doing that shit.
Shit! What the fuck? He really fucking dashed into me that time.
He wasn't having that shit. Well, next time on Digi Bros, we're gonna try to beat Ornstein and Smough.
Smearg.